Sadistic Penguin Studios presents It's Getting Drafty in Here.
Drafty old barn.
The show of drafting random nonsense.
I choose business ethics.
And now, coming to you from his basement, a.k.a. Draft Headquarters, your host and draft master, Magnificent Stan.
Hello, welcome to episode 52 of It's Getting Drafty, and here I am your host, Magnificent Stan. Today is Tuesday, August 27th, 2024, and today we're going a little off the path a little bit. This was an idea that Katelyn came up with. We're doing things that you either believed or were told as a child that weren't true. So again, I already mentioned Katelyn. Katelyn's with us again here for another draft. How are you, buddy?
Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me.
Always. I love, and again, I always love when people give me ideas because you're always a little more passionate about the draft itself. So I always appreciate the unique, clever ideas like this one. Also joining us for another one, we got Jacki from All Sports Scene as well as Southside Sox. How are you?
I'm good, Brian. How are you?
Fantastic. It looks like the storm's starting here, so we'll.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm a little choppy. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
Yeah,
it looks choppy on my end.
Your video is a little bit, but it's not that bad. You don't have MSS internet or anything like that. But before we start tonight's draft, I do want to mention these are things that we may have a couple of ideas that pop up throughout this draft that maybe you don't want your kids to hear. So I would perhaps maybe get them out of the room or give them something else to do while you're watching or listening. So, but okay, let's just dive right in, Jacki. What do you got with the number one pick?
Okay. Let's see. Which one do I want? I'm waffling on what I want my first pick to be, but I don't want this one to go away. So I'm going to say the Bermuda Triangle. Yeah. I used to think that the Bermuda Triangle was a literal triangle in that ocean where if you crossed that line, you were fucking gone. You disappeared. You never came back.
That was on mine.
Was it? Okay.
It's so crazy. Like, that's what we all thought. And then even now today, you're like, and when you hear like the conspiracies, it's interesting.
I don't know. Like, there's some kind of like I thought maybe there was some sort of like whirlpool down there where it's just like Heroes in Might and Magic where you go down the whirlpool. I don't know.
I love the conspiracies around that.
Is Sam mentioning me and Jacki?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I think
that's what I
both
thought.
of you. But yeah, it's a good pick.
That's a good one. I didn't even think about that one, honestly.
I feel like a lot of people thought that.
I have a feeling we're not going to have like as much like competitive selections here because it's not as like cut and dry with the options. That's a really, really good one. I like it.
Did all three of us believe in the Bermuda Triangle?
I did. Of
course. I still believe in it. I don't care.
I was going to say I don't know necessarily that, maybe statistically there are more, disappearances, but I thought it was very literal where if you crossed that border, you never came back.
You
never came back.
Done.
You're gone.
Yeah. So that's mine.
Well, there you go. That's a good one.
Okay.
I'll just dive right in for number 2 here.
Let's hear it.
I'm going to go. This was one that just popped in my head the other day, and I can't stop laughing at it. I'm going with your dog went to go live on a special farm.
That was going to be mine. Yeah, that's a sad one. I had that as on my list.
I have a funny story about that. So my dog Sniffle that I had when I was younger actually did go to live on a farm because she was too big for us to keep at our little house, chained up in our backyard. So we actually did give her to a farm, and swear to God, she died there like a week later.
Oh shit!
Oh no!
Because it turned out she had.
Are you
we
sure
didn't know
that?
it,
Are you sure that Sniffle? That's an adorable name for a dog, by the way. Are you sure that Sniffle actually got to the farm?
Yes, I believe, like, my dad sat us down. He like gave us some candy to tell us that Sniffle had died. Like a week later, like, hey, you know, he said he said she died doing what she loved, which was running around like a maniac.
Aww.
So
yeah, that's definitely a sad one. I had that on my list too. Like your grandparents or parents, like they're going to the farm, and you're like, oh, that's so fun for.
Well, that's nice.
Little,
they're gonna get to they're gonna get to run with their friends.
Yeah.
They're gonna meet a cow. You know.
Yeah,
I
have a funny story about that. So like my friend, like we had talked, like if something were to like happen to Sam and I, she would take our dogs.
Mm-hmm.
And when we were talking about it, she's like, oh yeah, I'll bring him to the farm. And I was like, what the fuck, dude? Like, you're gonna bring him to the farm? She's like, no, dude, my parents, they have a farm in Minnesota. I was like, oh yeah, duh.
Oh, like a literal
Like
farm.
a literal
Okay.
farm. I forget she grew up on a farm. But my first instinct, I was like, you're gonna fucking kill my dogs. I was so pissed. And then she's like, no, you stupid ass. My parents' farm. I'm like, oh, this is good. Okay. But I feel like since I was a kid, you hear that. It's like, oh, okay. But yeah. The dogs will be on a nice farm in Minnesota.
Sam said we're off to a dark start here. It's just gonna get brighter and brighter from here, isn't it?
That was on
I don't know.
list.
It's kind of a dark topic. Like people just lying to you when you're a kid, just to kind of make it like. I think like in some cases it's obviously to make things easier, but it's also like parents are lazy and they don't want to explain things. So
that's what I feel like most of the things are. Is like your
right.
Like I have several on my list, and I'm like, a parent made this up for sure. Like there's no way. Like there was a whole list. I'm like, oh yeah, that was from a parent that wanted.
I feel like there's a lot of.
Off.
I feel like there's a lot of parent slander on the panel.
I would have done it too.
Okay.
See, Jackie, you should just pick things that you've told your kids that aren't true.
I asked my kids for suggestions and they didn't have anything. I said, that's right.
Well, the wool is still over their eyes at this point, right?
I suppose.
Well, I feel like kids nowadays, they have like the internet and they're like, that shit ain't
right.
true. Like,
kids
like,
are way.
Oh, okay.
Kids are way smarter now. We didn't give a shit. We just took everybody at face value when we were younger.
Oh yeah, exactly.
I drank from the hose too. All right.
For sure.
But all right, Katelyn, you got two here.
I know. I still can't make up my mind. I'm sorry. So I don't know if this was just me, but I always thought if you didn't step off the escalator quick enough, that it would just gobble you up.
It will.
I'm not even kidding. Like, I feel like when I go to like the Sox games, even like still, like when you get to that top, you're like, just do that little like skip and a jump over it. Like I'm gonna get eaten by this thing. It's
like that episode of Seinfeld with the soup Nazi where they always have to like sidestep very patiently, you know, like yeah, that was on my list for sure.
I've seen people like get their shoes stuck. Like I've seen that, but obviously nobody gets eaten by it.
That kid is back on the escalator.
That's exactly what popped into my head too. Look, it's a schooner.
I was like, is this something that was in my head? Or because sometimes you have those ones that are like personal. That's like, no, that was just you. And then you have the collective. Oh, yeah, I thought that too. So I wasn't sure about the escalator.
No. Yeah, no, people. Yeah, everybody's parents always said, like, watch your feet when you get on and off the escalator. Yeah, especially when you get off the escalator when you're going up.
Yeah,
it always has that like it almost looks like it has like metal teeth at the top.
Yeah, exactly. So. I feel like it scared me as a kid.
I tell my kids all the time, like, be careful, you're gonna get hurt. You're gonna get hurt. Escalators actually can hurt you, but
you're just like God damn it, I'm doing the same thing my parents did to me in that situation. Oh man, that's funny. Did I word that properly? Should I say that's differently or? Getting sucked into the escalator?
Yeah, phrasing a little bit.
Yeah, I was gonna say it sounds like someone's getting sucked off on the escalator.
I was like, what's getting sucked on?
What's going on here?
I'm too old. I don't know all the lingo anymore.
Where is this escalator located? That's not what it says. All right, that's a good one. I actually, when I was making my list today, that one popped into my head, so it was like a new one to me. So I'm glad I.
Okay.
Yeah,
Like I said, I was asking Sam. I was like, "Is this just me here?" I said, "I don't know. I guess we'll see what the crowd says." All right, and for my next one, I'm like looking at my list here, trying to debate. I think I'll pick. I feel like our parents or other people made it seem like quicksand was going to be a bigger issue in life. I feel like I don't know if it was just me, but I feel like we'd hear all about it, and I just remember like getting freaked out, like, oh my god, I'm gonna get trapped one day, or I'm gonna have to like spend my whole life trying to like, hide from it, or like not be anywhere near it. And then it's like, we don't fucking live anywhere near quicksand. And
it's just it was two things. It was the Princess Bride, and then it was Super Mario 3.
Yeah,
that one stage when the sun's chasing you.
Oh,
all that
okay,
quicksand. Or is that the second?
Yeah.
I think that's the second game actually.
Well, there's like,
Can't
yeah,
remember.
that is true, like video games and stuff. But I just remember as a kid, like people would like talk about quicksand or like make up stories or whatever, and you're just like, oh my god, I'm gonna get trapped in quicksand and have to figure this out like all the time. This could be a bigger issue than it needs to be, and then
Like,
you get older and you're like, I don't even know where quicksand exists.
And like quicksand itself, like it doesn't it like it just goes so slow that like it's not really like okay.
That's what people have said too. They're like, it's not like as difficult to like, in like the movies.
Yeah, it's
or
not. You're not gonna
video
just
games,
drop
you're like,
in.
zoop, like,
Right,
zoop.
right.
But I just feel like I just remember hearing all about it, and I'm just like, like feared the future that I was gonna get stuck someday. I'll go with that one. Whatever.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
I like it.
What do you got? What do you got, Brian?
All right.
Okay.
I'm going from the dead pets to the inappropriate one. I'm gonna go. If you masturbate too much, you're gonna go blind.
I heard about that one.
Did your parents actually tell you that?
No.
When I was looking for ideas, I was like, oh, that was a common one.
Yeah.
I didn't know if we were gonna go dirty or not.
It's Drafty Pod. I've never, If you want to go dirty, I'm not going to stop you.
The beauty part is, if you did go blind, it might enhance the the experience in the future.
Extra senses.
I'm not speaking from any kind of personal space. I'm just saying something like that.
I initially had the line on my list from 40-Year-Old Virgin. Is it true if you don't use it that you lose it?
You lose it.
No.
That's a good one.
No. Dad, I haven't heard about anybody going blind from masturbation yet,
Yeah.
but fingers
there's a
crossed it might
correlation.
happen one day,
We're all screwed.
I am looking at my list now. Yeah,
I
I'm
know.
looking
I
at my
keep
list.
looking like, which one? Right.
All right.
While we're waiting, I'll just play this random video that Yumper put on.
I'm not mad.
Road trip. It's the best.
All right. Okay, I'm gonna go with this one. I think this was a pretty common one, and I actually was told this by my parents, that if you swallowed gum, it would stay in your stomach for 7 years.
7 years. That was my next pick, Jackie. How dare you?
I'm sorry. Because the other two that I'm going to pick, I think like they're very personal to me. No one is going to pick them. Actually, now I'm seeing another one. I'm like, damn it, I wish I would have gone with that one.
There was a Reddit thread that I read where people just like put them in there, and a lot of people mentioned. I remember just the gum thing was just like you're gonna have digestive problems. I don't remember like somebody telling me 7 years or anything like that.
Yeah,
but I remember like
remember.
Don't swallow your gum. It's gonna fuck you up.
Yeah, we were always told like 7 years. It was like exactly that. And then I remember like before I'd swallow my gum, I'd be like, oh, like don't do it. Like you're just gonna have a stomach full of gum. I actually looked it up for fun, and it takes your body on average about a week, not 7 years.
And then when it comes out, when you poop it out, it blows a bubble.
Yes, exactly. That is correct. That'll be my next pick.
I don't know. This draft has made me skeptical of everyone. I don't know if any of that's true.
Jackie's like, shit, I better not swallow any more gum.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good one. That was a popular one.
Okay. Okay. It's me again, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You know what? I'm going to let you guys have the other one that I want. I'm going to go to the two that are like personal to me.
Sure.
My father told me he was listening to music in his back room, and he made the same joke that everyone who hears this song makes, and he told me that Peter Frampton's guitar was talking. And I thought that meant that guitar was sentient, and it was literally talking. Like the guitar was talking, and it wanted to know if you felt the way that it felt.
Interesting.
Do you know what song I'm talking about, Caitlin? You're young.
Like I do.
I
Like
need to
I
hear the
do.
words. Oh yeah, I think so.
Okay. So I used to think that Peter Frampton's guitar actually talked.
Was talking. And I'm over here. God. Nice.
Great minds think alike, Sam.
Lord. Nice. That's a funny one.
Peter Frampton. So Peter Frampton's biggest moment, is it the talking
The
guitar?
Simpsons?
Was it him being on The Simpsons, right?
Yeah.
Like I got that. at
Sonic
Pink
used in
Floyd's
my
garage
cooler.
sale.
Come on, Mr. Frampton. You're not going to eat all of that watermelon.
Wow. So let's talk about segue here.
What you got?
My pick is actually that when you eat watermelon or
What?
any fruit that has a seed in it,
Yeah.
that
It's
gonna
the
grow.
actual fruit is going to grow inside you.
You
Yeah,
guys
that
are
was-
snagging all my picks.
Oh, really? You had that Peter Frampton's guitar actually talk? That was on your list?
No, not that one, but the fruit
Ah.
one. After that Rugrats episode.
I don't remember the Rugrats.
That was I was more with meat. It
She's
was
so
more
young.
apples. Like don't eat the middle of the apple. Like don't eat
Yeah.
the. Oh, come on.
the apple
Yeah.
core.
That's
Right.
what we were told, like that fruit would either like grow in your stomach or like a tree would grow from like the seed or something. That's pretty
But
funny.
dynamite segue there, Jackie.
Oh, thank you.
Kudos.
I planned it that way. We
I
planned
know,
it.
I know.
No, we didn't. No, we did
No.
not.
No.
So none of
no.
you grew a fruit in your stomach? Come on.
Well, who's
No,
to
I
say?
I just have a hernia. Did
Oh,
I get a
that's
hernia
perfect.
from eating watermelon?
I was
Oh, Sam knew that was one of my picks. Yeah, no, there's an episode of Rugrats where I don't know if you know Rugrats or remember anything about it, but Chucky like swallows a seed, and like the whole episode is like them, like I think they're like actually inside his stomach, like trying to get it before it starts growing. And I was like, damn, it's gonna happen to me.
I kept thinking about I was plumb surprised.
Ooh.
It's a good one.
All right, let's see.
All right,
Brian, I
Kim.
think we're gonna have to add another round.
Yeah,
we
I
probably
think so.
yeah. Just
Okay,
looking
so
at
I got
yeah.
more.
I mean, I don't mind cutting it to half an hour tonight. It's totally fine if that's what
Storms are
what
coming.
it is. But
Storms are coming. I think I'm gonna go dirty. I'm gonna go dirty for this next one.
Woo!
I
Let's go.
feel like everyone and their mamas heard about Marilyn Manson getting his rib
Removed so
rib
that he could suck
removed.
his own dick.
Yes. And what's crazy is I think like how young we were and like
Mhm.
the internet hadn't really taken off like social media wise, and I'm like, it's amazing how we all were taught this, but you know, weren't really on the internet like, you know, worldwide.
can we also talk about like him being Paul Pfeiffer as well?
Oh.
Are we sure that that's not true?
So
Are we 1,000% sure?
He said in an interview like that he was laughing about it. He's like, no, that was not true. But it was so believable. We were like, oh, that kind of makes sense, right? If you like take the top rib away.
Yeah.
It was pretty believable. And it was just so crazy how many of us were told it, even at such a young age.
It's funny that we just accepted it too. Like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
We're like, what a fucking weirdo, but whatever floats your boat.
Yeah.
I remember hearing the rumor and I'm like, nah, dude, that's not happening. Like, come on.
What
God,
doctor
I
is
think-
agreeing to that?
Yeah, right. I can't even think of like how old I was when I heard.
I mean,
that. I was
even
pretty young.
even if he removed a rib, I don't even think that would help. So
Yeah, it wouldn't
was
do
trying to-
much anyway.
I was trying to picture like what doctor literally would approve such a such a procedure, and I just picture him like, yeah, this is what I want to do, and this is why, and the doctor just like
Nick Riviera.
just gives him a high five. It's like, hell yeah, dude. Dudes will hear this and say, hell yeah. We're gonna...
Can you imagine
ever-
that consultation?
Did you guys watch 30 Rock at all?
I did not know.
Okay, there's a doctor in it called Dr. Spaceman, and Tracy Morgan calls him Dr. Spaceman because that's the way it's spelled. But he always like comes up with weird surgeries and stuff to do. It just sounds like something Dr. Spaceman would do.
Let's see.
All right, what do you got? What's your next one?
I think I'm gonna pick. Let's see. I think I'm gonna go with how we were told that if you ate raw cookie dough, you were gonna automatically be sick. Maybe
Maybe
it'll
it's a-
affect me later in life, but for 32 years, I'm going strong. No sickness from the raw cookie dough yet.
Yeah, they used to tell you that it would
They get
You get-
salmonella from the raw
Salmonella,
eggs.
that's what it was, yeah.
It makes sense. Don't get me wrong. Like I'm sure.
I was like, I still think that's
someone
true.
got it. Yeah.
I'm not 1,000% sure that's
I
not
was
true.
gonna say, like, what we were told though is like more like every single time you eat it, like you're gonna be puking, you're gonna be sick because you're eating raw cookie dough. And I just remember like eating
Well,
it by the tub. Like we good.
I think also that like you buy cookie dough at the store. I don't think it has as much like there's like raw egg in it as much
Yeah,
as
and
like
nowadays
if you make
it's
it
like none.
like if you make homemade cookie dough and you eat it, I
Mhm.
think you're a lot more likely to get sick.
Yeah, for sure. But I was like, this one's interesting because you definitely could get it. I'm sure someone has. It was just for me personally. For 32 years, I've going strong. But watch it happen now the next time.
She's so young and she doesn't know what happens to her digestive system when she gets older, Brian. Isn't that
Yeah.
cute?
That's what I mean. It's all gonna catch up to me and be like, remember all the fucking cookie
It
dough you ate?"
absolutely is.
I I take so much fiber every day just so I can be a normal human being. So I'm like 12 years older than you, but
I take the fiber and the probiotic, bitch. I'm moving that shit through.
I started making salmon eye wellness shots. We're like, we're getting up there. We need to start now.
what's going on,
That's
Andrew?
my Yay, Andrew.
Hi.
He's my Yankee friend.
Aw. Hello.
He's nice.
Well, welcome to the pod.
But yes, luckily not sick all the time from eating cookie dough quite yet. But you never know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm too cynical for this draft because like half of the things y'all are bringing up, I'm like, nah, that's true. That's real.
That's what I mean. For different people, you might be like, no, I don't relate to that, or no. Yeah.
No, we're gonna have people responding to the show and be like, "This is actually true. Here's this. The Bermuda Triangle's fucking real." And
They're like, I got stuck in quicksand and while getting sick from eating cookie dough. Like, what are you talking about?
Who's the person on white?
masturbated in the Bermuda Triangle until I was blind, and then I fucking disappeared. Okay.
I was gonna say, who's the
gum in my stomach?
Who's the person on White Sox Twitter who is immediately going to jump on the draft like, nah, that's true, that's true. I think it's going to be Rudy.
Someone's gonna.
I like you.
In the
Hi,
comments.
Rudy.
Hi, Rudy.
No, he's my homie. Rudy's the homie.
My next one is going to be one that we were told in school.
Oh, okay.
They used to tell us that you're going to need to learn all this math because you're not always going to have a calculator.
Yeah,
That was one of mine.
that's a good. I didn't even think of that. That's a good one.
So I'm
Yes,
going to go with
it
that
could
one.
be a contender for that too. I didn't think of that. It's a really good pick.
Yeah, it's such nonsense. Like and math was actually one of the subjects that I did really well with in school, but still, like, that's such nonsense to tell them that, like, you won't have that available to you in your everyday life. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I use a calculator all day at work because I do a lot of accounting stuff. And yeah, I mean, come on, man. Like,
Little did they know we'd have it at our fingertips, a calculator and all the math answers.
Right. I mean, I have I have my computer that has a calculator on it. I got my phone in front of me. And I also have like a regular calculator on my desk. So I have 3 of them when I actually need to use math. So
I'm feeling such shame right now because we just tonight spent about an hour and a half with my 10-year-old daughter doing her math homework, and we were all like, it's easy things, but we didn't understand what like the teacher was asking at the show the work part. Like I could get the
Wasn't
answer.
that Common Core math now or something like that?
Yeah, and I like Common Core math. It makes a lot more sense than the way that we learned it, so that you actually understand the concept rather than just like memorizing a bunch of shit. But like, so like you have 2 full-grown adults trying to help this 5th grader with her math and be like, I don't know what she means by that. and my daughter was even like, I can't believe like the adults can't get 5th grade math. I'm like, hey, 5th grade honors math. And
there's actually a whole show about if you're smarter than a 5th grader, you should watch.
That's what Wes said. I would not pass that show. But it's funny because like I was like, just get out the calculator. Get out the calculator. And she was like, no, you have to show your work.
Right. That's so funny. I was lucky growing up. If I had a problem with math, with like homework or whatever, my dad was really good at math. My dad was teaching me like percentages and multiplication tables when I was like 4. So, and then my mom was a big reader, so she would be able to help me with everything else. So like they had like a good yin and yang. Like hey, I need help with my math homework. Go to dad. Hey, I need help with whatever.
Your parents helped you with homework? That's so sweet.
No.
I mean, I was chronically behind because I was a fuck up. I didn't have problems with homework or anything like that really, but I had so much to do because I'd always get behind because I'm a lazy asshole. So,
yay!
No,
it's the truth.
Yeah. Good calculator pick. I didn't think of that one. That's a good one.
Math is math. They could change math. Thank you, Sam.
Math.
They can't change the answer, Sam, but they can introduce strategies to. Yeah.
That was me, Sam. Until I got into high school, I didn't do my homework. So.
I was actually in math class with Sam, and I think our teacher did ask him about his work, and I just remember him going, "It's all in here," and I was just like, yeah, whatever.
I could see him doing that. That's funny.
Smart ass.
Sam was a smart ass in school, wasn't he?
Oh yeah.
Nice. You can see that one. All right, Jackie, you got. So we added that 5th round.
Okay, so I'm going to close out my draft here. Okay.
Yeah, you're closing out.
So the first one, I was told when I was a child that the reason that camels could survive in the desert was because they had water in their humps. That camels they don't.
Do they not?
They do not.
What are you talking about?
I looked it up because I got this. Anyway, so no, they have like fat in their humps, and like they use that as an energy reserve, but they don't carry just like supplies of water. Like I thought, like it was literal.
News to me.
It's like a canteen on their back.
Exactly, like a
That's what we were told.
The camel just turns around and drink.
I was gonna say like, it because like how do they access that water? Do they just like release it into their bloodstream?
That's a good question. I swear that's what we were told growing up about the water in their hump.
Yeah. Nope, it's not water. It's fat.
It was what we were told, but it's not true. That's the show,
that's
Caitlin.
The show. I got bamboozled.
All right. So that's one. And
I learned something.
Thank you. The last one is just funny, and no one else is. This is going to be so very specific to me, but I love it so much that I'm going to go with it anyway. So when I was younger, my older sister told me that the sports newscaster Mark G and Greco were 2 people named Mark G and Greco. And I believed that for a embarrassingly long time.
That's easy to believe.
Okay.
Especially as kids. 2 separate people. Nice.
Oh, it tickles me. I think it's funny.
I have asked Mark Giangreco to be on the podcast. So
for what?
I'm hoping. I don't know, just for anything. I sent a DM to him on Twitter. Because, like, there was a time when he would respond to, like, everything I tweet out for some reason. I'm like, what the hell is Mark Giangreco doing responding to stuff? But
well, I mean, what else is he doing these days?
Yeah,
Didn't he retire?
True.
Yeah. Is he still doing the
retired.
Oh, really? I don't know the story.
There's a little bit to it. I don't think it was anything to get like. Oh, it wasn't like a big hubbub, but there was something.
I mean, apparently, because I thought he was like a tag team of two people named Mark G and Greco.
Mark, what's up? Hey, Greco.
That would be an amazing, like, I don't know, premise for like a band name or something. Mark G and Greco.
Mark G and Greco.
Mark G and the Grecos.
Ooh, that's a good band name. I like it.
That's what I'm saying.
Good. That sounds legit.
Mark G and the Grecos. All right.
Man, my board sucks.
You're bored. Shut up. You got good picks. And it's fun when it's personal because it's just interesting. You're like with the things that we believe. It's funny.
All right, fuck it. I'm I did a disclaimer for the kids, so Santa Claus.
Yeah,
I'm going Santa Claus.
You should just take the lot. Santa Claus, Easter Bunny, Leprechaun.
So holiday icons.
Yeah. Tooth Fairy.
All right. I was going to ask if I could do that, but yeah. I had two, like 1 and 2 on my list were Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy.
Yep.
So
yeah. I feel like they all belong together.
When I asked my kids for like, hey, what was something that I told you that was true that what ended up not being true? That was their answer, was Santa Claus, the Tooth Fairy, the Easter Bunny. So
I can't remember like how old I was. I remember all the kids would camp out in the living room, and it's amazing how you'd wake up and like you didn't ever catch your parents, putting it under the tree. I can't remember, but I had older siblings, so I think they spoiled everything for me.
How old were you, Brian?
Sam, I was about to mention Bell Snickle. So I got a funny one. I was older actually. I believed in Santa. So my birthday's Christmas Eve.
Oh, okay.
So I always thought that holiday season is like a big thing for me. And I think I was older. I mean, what's the age where kids really find out about like 7, 8 years old, something like that?
8,
yeah.
I think I was 8, and my mom like literally took me out to dinner to sit me down and be like, "Okay, Brian, Santa Claus isn't real." And I apparently said like, "Oh yeah, right. Like, what do you guys buy it?" Like something like that. So I was like, she was worried that the people were gonna start making fun of me at school and shit. So
yeah.
So yeah, I was a little older, so she pulled it out a little late on me there.
Oh yeah, I think my brothers just told me. They were like 10 years older. They're like, it's not true, right? And you're just like,
Mine was, and I was even older than you, Brian. I was probably in like 3rd grade. So you're like 9 years old at that point. And my grandma used to watch us after school before my parents got home. And she was watching a talk show, the Jenny Jones talk show. Do you remember the Jenny Jones talk show?
I was in the audience for Jenny Jones.
Hell yeah, let's go. So anyway, she was just watching this talk show, and I was standing in the room that she was at, and they had a show about pathological liars. And they had this doctor on that was talking about, the ins and outs of what pathological liars believe and how they act and what they do. And then they were talking about like lies that might be okay. And Jenny Jones in the middle of the goddamn day says, well, what about the lies we tell kids about Santa Claus? And I was like, oh. And I looked at my grandma and she was like, oh, yeah.
Jenny Jones better hope you don't meet her. You're gonna smack the shit out of her.
I just imagine your parents.
My childhood, you son of a bitch.
I just imagine your parents coming home and then they're like, Mom, what the fuck did you do? You were supposed to watch them for 2 hours.
It wasn't me. It was Jenny Jones. It was the Jenny Jones show.
Goddamn Jenny Jones.
It came on right before Donahue. Oh my god. So when my kids asked me finally about Santa Claus, which wasn't until like I think last year was the first year that they knew that it was us. I read this thing online that I really liked, and that's what I did with them when they asked me to my face, like, is Santa Claus real? I'm like, well, not in the way that you see him and like a fat guy with a beard, but every kid has their own Santa. Me and Daddy are your Santa. So Santa is real. I'm Santa. What up?
That's a good explanation.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Yeah,
that's a good way to do it. To make sure you don't ruin it for any other kids.
Right.
Yeah. That's true.
What did your Santa give you?
Ricky Lake would never. Ricky Lake would never do that.
She would never.
I agree.
Forgot about that show.
You're so young.
Lake.
How old were you when that came out? Like, why
Yeah.
were you watching
We were
Ricky
We were
Lake?
young, yeah.
What year is that?
That's
Late 90s, I think.
late 90s. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, 92. But I remember like seeing like clips of it from back in the day though.
She was a good host. Like, it was actually, she was very engaging.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't she do the Newlywed Game show?
Should it go, Ricky?
Maybe.
Go, Ricky.
Maybe. Potentially.
I don't know. She started as an actress. She did like all the John Waters
Yeah.
movies, and yeah.
She's in Hairspray. She's in Hairspray.
Oh yeah,
She
yeah.
was also in Serial Mom, and it's John Waters.
Like it's better.
Sam, get the
Harry
fuck out of
Lake
here.
is better. I
Get
don't
the
agree,
fuck
Sam.
out of here.
Sam,
I do not agree.
I still haven't ejected someone from the show, but I think I might eject you.
Do it. Do it. I'm kidding.
You'll be blocked from Sadistic Penguin Studios.
I love it.
All right,
I
Katelyn,
think,
last pick.
yeah. So
Close us out.
I'm thinking, it's actually not on my list, but I thought of it, Brian, after you mentioned the calculator. It had me thinking like what our like teachers specifically told us, and what what made
I know
me
what it's gonna
think
be.
of this, is that we had to learn cursive.
Oh, that's not what I thought you were going to say.
Yeah. Remember, I don't know if you guys were told it, but we were told we had to learn cursive because we weren't allowed to like write in like regular print as we when we got older.
Yeah.
Like, so they said you had to learn it. It's the only thing you're going to be allowed to use. And now it's just like, haha, nobody writes in cursive.
I write in cursive.
Wait, what was it that, well, yeah, I mean, of course, some people still do, but I feel like nowadays everything's on your phone or a computer.
So I thought you were going to go with that Pluto was a planet.
Oh, no. Pluto is
Pluto's
planet, okay?
Pluto's a dog.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But no, that just made me laugh. I just remembered that. I was like, all that talk, like, no, you can't write in print. Everything has to be cursive, like, or you're gonna get in trouble. Or you're at your job. It's like, oh, okay. And then it's like, yeah, whatever. Nobody cares what we're writing.
Literally, I think my generation, like our generation, Jackie, was the first generation where like they didn't like hardcore make you do it, because I never really learned it all, like, honestly.
Really?
Like it's like Billy Madison, like
I was like,
Naruto.
Naruto.
That's literally me. Like my cursive is fucking atrocious. My handwriting in general is so horrible.
Yeah,
I
my
have
twin got the
excellent
good
handwriting.
penmanship.
Like I'll give like notes to my sales guys at work, and they're like, "What the fuck does this say?" I'm like, "I don't know anymore."
Mine's like half. I do like a half cursive, half print. Like sometimes, like I feel like mainly I print, just do like regular. But I do sometimes find myself doing like the good old half and half. And then I like if I even try to write cursive, I seriously think of Billy Madison. I'm like, wait, hold on a second. Like, how do I do that Z?
Those are Z's.
Like for like my name, I'll just write like a regular K, but then I'll start doing like a little bit of I don't know. It's like,
oh, you've been practicing that shit on your Trapper Keeper since you were 14 years old.
Katelyn Reed.
I'm about to say with my last name and with Sam's last name, I do a mix and match.
Wow.
I could probably find a piece of paper in my desk that still has it somewhere.
Even with like signatures, I got lazy because I mean, you guys know my last name. It's a tremendously
quite long.
German.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tremendously long
yeah.
German last name, and I just do an S. I just do an S at a fucking line now. Like I don't. Really
I told you I'd find one.
Yeah.
Caitlin.
You didn't have to.
Reeves.
You didn't have to look very far. Are they just like all over?
I posted my notes somewhere when I've had to take notes for stuff.
Oh.
But
I've gotten lazy too, Brian. I just do my first initial and then my last name.
Yeah.
My dad used to scream at us when we sign. Like he's like, "Hey, here's your your insurance card or whatever. You have to sign it." And it's like my sister would sign it, and he didn't like her signature, and he's like, "It's not right. Get the fuck out of here, man."
Oh yeah, I swear within the last year or two, it's just like like I used to like do very nice, and now it just squiggle. They don't even
even on digital documents. They don't even make you do anything. Like they used to make you like with the either with the mouse or whatever. You'd have to sign. Like they don't even do that anymore. You just hit an X. Okay.
Yep. Exactly.
All right.
This
Are
is
we
a
gonna?
good one. Yeah, we can double list now.
I don't have that many.
Yeah,
Okay, so
I only have a few too.
I had that you could not, like you literally could not use tampons if you were a virgin. I have that.
That's
And
so good.
I mean, I wouldn't advise it, but I thought you literally could not. It literally would not. So I had that, and then the other one, I said that my parents told me that everything would be okay
Aw,
because
yeah.
clearly everything is not okay.
I saw some of those like sad ones. It was like
Yeah.
the adults had all the answers and that everything was gonna be okay. I'm like, oh, now we're getting deep.
Well, I mean, yeah, and if you want to go deep about like what parents tell you, like you get a good education, you work
Yeah.
hard, everything will be like, no, like not
Or
really.
that
Like
cheaters
yeah,
never
I mean, for a lot
prosper.
of people,
Not with this
yeah, cheater.
inflation.
Have you seen the guy running for president right now? Cheaters never prosper.
That was one of the things I saw was like the president was like so smart and had all the answers and stuff like that, and it's just like
Mhm.
Well,
not
that
in this
all ended with
country.
I mean, that ended with George W. Bush. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, so
You
for
know.
my list,
That's when it
I
ended?
had quite a few.
Jerry Ford. What?
Oh yeah.
No, I thought Reagan. Are you saying that Reagan knew everything?
Of course he
Ruh-roh.
did.
Okay.
Reagan smash. No, you're
All
right.
right, what's up,
You're
Caitlin?
right.
What's on your
I-
list?
Oh yeah. So for mine, I thought that when animals hibernated, that they literally slept all winter and like never woke up for food or anything. They just slept the whole time. And then now thinking back, I'm like, they would have died if they never ate anything or got up or So I used to
This
think
is
that
This is news to me.
store-bought
news to
cookies
me.
are poison.
If you watched last
I was
week's
gonna
show,
say the show.
Jack told a story about eating Chips Ahoy at a sleepover when he was a kid. He had no idea what store-bought cookies were because his mom always made homemade cookies.
Mm-hmm.
And
So-
we were like, wait, that's a luxury. It's
Yeah,
so much
that's an
better.
absolute luxury. Jack's mom had some time on her hands to make some cookies.
As I remember, he mentioned, he's like, "Oh, because it was the cheaper thing to do," and I was like, "I feel like that was like, in my opinion, like the more bougie thing. Like, ooh, like you get homemade, like that's rich, that's money. But it makes
Ooh,
sense
Toll
though, to make it
House,
from home.
like,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly. You're like, ooh, nice. Yeah, I also had how we were always told we had to wait to swim after we ate.
Yep.
Remember that? Like, wait 30
What a
minutes or you're
crock.
gonna drown or
Yes.
get,
That's
yeah.
good advice. That's good advice.
That was
You're
a
gonna
good
get your
one.
little tummy aches. You're gonna get little tummy aches.
And then I just thought, like, in general, like, in the movies or in like stuff, like there was all these booby traps and stuff, and I'm like, I thought there'd be like a lot more of them throughout life.
What do you think? Think Kevin McAllister's are just
Yeah,
everywhere setting booby
literally.
traps?
I was like, oh, we're just gonna have to watch like the Goonies, like all these movies we watch, or even like with my brothers, we would always play like little pranks. And I was just like, oh, this is gonna be like a bigger deal. Like as I get older, I'm gonna have to watch out for shit.
That's a good one.
This is a personal one for me. I don't know why, but I thought when I was little, I thought that the center of the hot tub was going to like drag me under, kill me.
Aw.
I don't.
Did
but,
you watch Hot
dude,
Tub Time Machine too many times?
Yeah,
where it
yeah,
swirls around?
exactly right, dude. My parents were so mean. Like, if we were on vacation, they like knew that that's what I thought, so they would be like pretending to get dragged into the center. Oh, they were so mean, and I remember just screaming like thinking like they're godders. I don't know why I thought that, but my parents played into it, so they're jerks too.
You know, why have kids if you can't tease them? That's what I
Yeah,
always say.
exactly.
When people like, 'cause obviously I tease my kids all the time too, and I'm like, you're being like, no,
Right.
why am I gonna have kids if I can't like mess with them
mess with them.
sometimes?
But yeah, so my parents literally they'd go all in, like they'd like
Yeah.
put themselves under the water, and I'd be like, oh, they're gonna die. Yeah,
That's how
I don't
we
know
show
why I
our
thought
love.
that.
That's how
Yeah.
we show our love.
That is a
But
good
hot
one.
tubs and escalators are gonna suck me in, I guess.
Or
Then
suck
the
you off.
obvi-
You know?
Yeah, that's true.
What if you're
And-
in a hot tub on an escalator?
On an
You're-
escalator.
You're just fucked at that point,
Dun
right?
dun dun. And then I had the obvious digging to China. You can dig to China.
Mm.
Hearing the ocean and the sea show. Coffee would stunt your growth. That was what I was
Yep,
thinking
I had
of
that
when like
one.
parents would say certain things like, oh, like coffee's gonna stunt your growth or certain things. I'm like, parents definitely made this up so that their kids wouldn't drink coffee.
As if I'm gonna be 5'10" like Cindy Crawford.
And then cracking your knuckles would give you arthritis. My last one, I don't know if it's personal to me, but honestly, I thought this throughout like high school. I always thought that when you watched a football game, that the line of scrimmage and all the lines on the TV were actually
Lit
on the
up?
field. We're actually on the field.
They painted it on.
Yeah. So then I go to
All
a
right.
game and I'm like,
Where are the
how am I
lines?
supposed to know? How am I supposed to know these things?
That's a good one.
Sam made fun of me for that one. But yeah, that was my dumb list.
Caitlin needs to watch football from the 80s. You don't know what the hell's going on ever.
Caitlin was told marriage would be a thing. Shut
Magical.
up.
It is.
Oh, sorry. I did have one other one. If a cow was sitting down, it meant it was going to rain.
Oh,
You ever hear that one?
no.
Oh, I've heard that a lot.
It feels like it could be true.
Feels like it's something a crazy person would think.
The way that, like, when I looked it up, other people, like, on forums thought it too. But then if you think about it, either when you see a cow, it's going to be sitting or standing. So it's a 50-50 shot. So it's just one of those things where, like, oh, they're sitting down and it's about to rain. It must be true.
I like it. I like that one.
What about yours,
Never heard that one.
Brian?
All right. Two of them are related. Making faces or crossing your eyes. If you do that too many times, it'll stick.
Yep.
The lights inside if you turn the lights on inside the car, it's
illegal.
You're gonna go to
illegal.
jail or whatever. Yeah.
That's another parent one.
Back to the hot tub one. What about like alligators in the toilet or snakes in the toilet? That kind of stuff.
Lobsters in the pool.
Again, I feel like that's true. I feel like I've read stories.
I've
There was
seen
a story
snakes
last
in
week.
toilets.
There was a story last week about a python hooking onto a guy's taint while he was on the bath on the crapper. So
I hear it happens in like Arizona, like hotter places. Like you can get like a snake toilet. So my first time Sam and I visited Arizona, I was so scared to go to the bathroom.
You're just looking under and inspecting.
Oh, I'm not
everything
kidding. I was like literally hovering over the toilet, like.
So I had like if you work hard or you get a good education, everything will be fine. Yeah. Which you can argue that one way or the other. So
it's just harder in
technically
today's world
somewhat
than our parents'
right.
World.
Yeah, definitely. Let me see. If you're honest with, like, your parents would say, like, if you're honest with me, you're not gonna get in trouble. That's
bullshit.
Fucking nonsense. Yeah.
No, you won't get in as much trouble. Let me speak as the parents on the panel. I always tell people, like, you're still gonna get in trouble for the thing, but like you'll get in more trouble if you try to lie on top of it.
What a crock of shit that was.
It's not. Parents.
And then I mentioned this in the pre-show with you guys. Pretty much anything in the Bible.
Yeah.
But we won't get too religious on here. Religion and politics. I already mentioned Trump once. I'm done now. Yeah, that's all I got.
There was a couple that I saw too that I thought were funny, and I was like, teachers live at school. I said I can see why that's believable. And then like little people control the stoplights. I thought that was funny. I was like, that's pretty believable.
The teachers living at school is kind of true. I once saw one of the teachers and the principal. They were making babies in the closet. I saw one of the babies, and the baby waved at me.
Oh, the baby looked at you.
Making babies.
I could see where a kid would think that. They're like, oh, the teachers must just live here too and like have a room somewhere. It's like, yeah, sure.
Funny you say that, Sam. One of the drafty pod ideas I have for October, like September, October, is fictional presidents.
Oh,
so
interesting.
We're gonna draft fictional presidents. That'll be a fun one. Jackie, I think you'd like that one.
I would like that one. They called the Sox game.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Did they even make it into the game?
No.
So 4 pitches and then a rain delay, and then they just told everybody to go home.
That is a classic Reinsdorf. Classic Reinsdorf.
Thanks for buying your dinner and beer and parking. Now go home.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Straight up doubleheader tomorrow.
That's fine.
Are you guys going to any more games? I think you said you're done. Yeah.
Yeah. You're
not going to go. I'm going to go on Friday, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to the last tailgate one, yeah, because Brady's coming back from Virginia that day. So
okay.
I wasn't going to just because it'll be a people-y. And,
People-y.
yeah.
What people?
Yes. But it's also halfway to St. Patrick's Day that day.
I think that's Saturday.
So, I thought it was on the 14th. I thought it was on the tailgate day.
I think it's
No,
Saturday.
No, Saturday is the Frank Thomas bobblehead.
Oh, I'm getting my weekends confused.
Yes, you are. That's okay.
For some reason, I thought the 14th, like the tailgate game, was the halfway to St. Patty's. I remember
That's
because
what
they
I'm
have
saying.
a cool gotcha. Sorry.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. So
I thought you meant
you're
this
both
Friday.
right.
Sorry, I thought you meant this Friday.
This Friday is Star Wars night.
Oh, gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that rugby shirt looks cool. Sam liked that one.
Sam just called Katelyn a bozo. She should kick his ass. Really
He's below me. Start stomping on the ground. But yeah, I liked all these answers. I think it's fun. You could go all day. I feel like there's so many little ones.
And I like these topics that don't have like specific. It's not like specialty type. It's not sports. It's not pop culture. This is more of like a sociological kind of one here. So it's
fun to see like the specific ones. You're like, Katelyn thinks people are getting sucked up by hot tubs and escalators.
When we see Brian next time, if he's blind, he's just jerking off too much. So, but
singing guitars.
Yeah, you're gonna have the mouth thing for Frampton playing the guitar.
I love it.
But all right, guys, thank you so much for this one. This was fun.
Thank you.
Drafty Pod's gonna be back actually this week again on Sunday. I'm gonna have Brewhand Luke and Dougie Fresh on, and we're doing kind of like an ultimate mascot draft.
Oh, nice!
Wow.
Like in all sports.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have either of you been to the Mascot Hall of Fame in Whiting, Indiana?
I'm pretty sure Dougie lives there because he's like a mascot aficionado. So
okay, I've been to the Mascot Hall of Fame in Whiting, Indiana.
Is it cool?
Like
kind of, yeah.
I mean, as cool as Whiting, Indiana is going to be.
Exactly.
We could call it the ultimate furries draft.
Furries draft. That's a good one.
They have a convention at Rosemont like every year.
A furry
the furries,
convention?
yeah, we know that.
Shut up.
We went to a Wolves game, and we were driving from the Wolves game to what's that hot dog place? I can't remember.
Gene and Jude's.
Yeah, Gene and Jude's. We were driving to Gene and Jude's and walking down the street. There's people in like full costumes, and then there's like people with like almost nothing on except for like a tail and like
I was gonna say, were
people watching though?
Were they hot? Was it hot?
It was probably hot in their costumes.
What are we talking? I'm getting flushed now. So
I like Sam's comment. Guest drafter Andrew McCutcheon. Furries.
Brian's eating his hot dog and he's like, "Damn, look at those furries just walking by."
Damn, that duck is hot.
I mean, whatever you're into, but there has to be some great people watching though.
We're not here to kink shame.
Thanks, Mike.
We're not here to kink shame on the Getting Drafty pod. That's not what we're here to do.
Whatever you're into.
If Marilyn Manson wants to be a furry and remove his ribs so that he can suck his own dick, then he should be able to do that.
Look,
in Trump's America.
If I want to go to the furry convention dressed as a dinosaur and call myself Cockosaurus, I'm gonna fucking do it, okay?
Right.
Just let it go. We'll end on that note.
That's my right. You're right.
All right.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you, Brian.
All right, guys. Thank you so much, and thanks everyone in the chat. And we'll see you on Sunday.
Okay, bye.
Bye.